Alright, so I'm going to try to make this, well, I have to make this video shorter than normal because apparently my account has been on strike one since December 2014. Um, and I'm not allowed to upload videos longer than 15 minutes now. This is despite the fact that, and that thing December 14th, they credit as being the reason why. Now, this is despite the fact that I have uploaded videos longer than 15 minutes, i.e. my rape analysis video, which was over 4 hours, right? So I don't know. I don't know how the hell they're coming by that. You can look back at my videos and see, like, just in the past maybe couple of weeks, I've uploaded videos that were an hour long, but I can't upload videos longer than 15 minutes now. So let's try. This thing of integration, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and seeing some of the comments on Aaron Clary's video titled "How the Government Ruined Black Women for Black Men." Some of these comments tells me that a lot of people don't quite get it. Now, I'm not going to be talking about that specifically. I'm talking about integration as a whole, and I guess the standard issue definition of integration, or meaning, societal meaning, versus what I mean when I say integration. So, apparently, what a lot of people think is that black people need to integrate even more than they already have into the rest of society, whatever the hell that means, because I always ask, what is American society? Is it society that's dominated by white people, that's dominated by Asians, Indians, what? You know, it's like, what is white culture, or American culture? What is that? Is it what's been mainly enjoyed by white people this entire time, mainly enjoyed by Native Americans? I mean, I don't see any American culture. What I see is culture that's mainly, if not predominantly, white versus black versus Asian and whatever. Okay, but integration. Here's why, at the risk of me getting kudos and applause and praise from all the closet, or maybe not so closet, racists and all that out there, let me try to expertly maneuver my way through this one. I believe that integration was a problem for blacks, and not meaning that we should go back to the segregation that was there before. And this is why I say my meaning of integration and segregation versus society's meaning. The integration that happened back, I guess, I don't know, 50s, 60s and such, was all well and great as far as the physical integrating of people. Okay, fine. If they so choose, right? The physical integrating of people. The option, all right. What was not good was the economical integration, of which there wasn't any. Okay, and I guess that's the problem. Why I say integration is not really for black people, especially at this point. And I come about this because I'm looking around. I'm looking around. Black people do not own anything, by and large. By and large, at least in this country. Obviously, in Africa, they own stuff, and I guess certain other parts maybe. But by and large, here in America, they don't own anything. Okay. The money that is circulating in the black community really does circulate in the black community. It hardly ever does. Most of it leaves the black community. Okay. This is not the case with other groups of people that I've seen. Okay. When I look at other groups of people, let's take, for example, Asians. They integrate within America, but one thing I've noticed with them, much like with Indians and Middle Easterns, they tend to stay in their own groups while still being like a smaller circle within a larger circle. Okay. And I've noticed this since high school. I went to Thomas S. Wooten High School in Rockville, Maryland. And when I went there, it was like damn near 68 white, or I thought it was over 80% Asian. You couldn't. You, I was I was the seventh black person when I went to that school in 2001. At the end of the school year, like a couple months before the school year ended. And then when I left in 2005, I was maybe like the 13th black person. Literally the 13th. It's only 13 of us. Okay. The place was damn near wall to wall Asians. Okay. And even though white people were grossly second, were far second in place, they still ran the whole place. Imagine that. But I saw there Asians, they studied amongst their own groups. Me, I had to study by myself because I was like the only black person that was actually studying, that was actually trying to get in the library. I created the chess club that was there, and it's probably gone now. Um, Indians, they studied amongst themselves. Whites mainly studied amongst themselves. And I go out into society and I see this as well. Like, you have Chinatown, you have all these different towns, Koreatown, whatever the hell else town. In fact, I'm going to put an address of a bank here. That's in Rockville, Maryland. Um, I'm going to put it in the description bar. This is Asia Bank. Okay. Now, I remember this bank because when I first saw it back in early 2000s or whenever, it said in small letters Asia Bank, but in large letters it said whatever it said in Chinese, probably the exact same thing in Chinese. And what I saw with that was, I mean, even though it was in Chinese, I could read it quite well. You know, and it said specifically, if you can't read this, you don't belong here. So this is a bank. Actually, I didn't even do the research on Asia Bank. Maybe, God forbid, it's owned by like fucking Deutsche Bank or something. Who knows, right? But Asia Bank, I think they got rid of the Asian wording now and just put it in English. I guess people were getting kind of suspicious, right? But that right there just tells me you have all these Asian stores, these supposedly international stores, but it's like mainly Asian shit that's sold there. Not shit, but you get what I'm saying. You have Asia Bank. You have Asian people, right? And let's not get into the whole Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever. Asians, and Oriental Asians. You have them and their group of people and their economy and their ways of doing stuff. Okay, they integrate as much as is needed, but then they keep to themselves. They're like, all right, okay, white people, all right, yeah, come do business with us, give us your money, but stay the fuck out. You keep your Girls Gone Wild, you keep your Miley Cyrus and all that shit, and all right. Same thing with Indians. You can see Indians in their strip malls, just a strip mall full of majority Indian stuff. Got their Bollywood in the back blasting. Got the elephant with the four arms, tusk, and trunk, and all that. Middle Easterns got shit. Let me not even get into them. Right? And of course, standard issue Spanish, the Spanish market, Latino markets. You all know what I mean. So all these groups are their own bubble, their own groups where it's their peoples, their culture, right? Within this whole America, which is supposedly this. I think we all know by now, America is not this great melting pot, this great smooth, homogeneous, creamy, whatever soup. No, man, it's more like fucking Campbell's chunky soup of diarrhea. Okay, it's this chunks, Asian chunks, Indian chunks, African chunks. If the Europeans even come over to us, and I mean British when I say that, oh, other Europeans too, their chunks are over here somewhere. No, I couldn't walk into this Asia bank and do business without getting looked at long ways and be like, the fuck is this fucking, the fuck isn't the check cashing around the corner? You know, fuck. So basically my thing is this: black people, this whole thing of integration, a physical is fine, but the integrating of money has not happened. And why? Because black people need to own their own stuff. These Latino people, they own their own stuff. Asians, they own their own stuff. Indians, they own their own stuff. Middle Easterns, they own their own stuff. Everybody else owns their own stuff except for black people. And if you notice, especially with like a lot of these Asian places, like these Korean nail salons and hair salons and stuff, it's black money that's going to fund them, right? Integration has been very detrimental because money circulates around everybody else except blacks. And that right there is going to be a serious problem, especially for black people. That's the reason why a lot of this shit is going on in the media right now. If you notice, with all the police shootings that are going on, it's only to black people. Now, as to why it's only black men and not black women, I don't know, but only black men. Now, I guarantee you, it's not going to ever happen to a Jewish person. In fact, that was the reason why I realized that I can't upload videos anymore, because I had this over hour-long video basically being like a clip of a whole bunch of different videos showing how blacks and whites are getting treated. I have a video of this white dude got in a fight with some other white person, and he's sitting there rolling off at the cops. Where the fuck were you? Why the hell didn't you fucking get here? I called you so long ago. Why don't you do your fucking job? And this man obviously had money. I mean, you can just sense that he had money, I guess, right? Or maybe he didn't, but they didn't do anything for it. They just sat there and took the beating, like, took the verbal beating, like, you know, like a pimp beating one of his hoes or something, right? It was ridiculous. They're not going to start shooting at. I mean, hell, if these cops were out here just picking off Asians one by one, the Asian community would fucking close ranks and get in these cops. Or, if they need be, maybe bring in some of them triads and yakuza that they have over in Asia to come straighten them the fuck out. You couldn't do this shit to the Jewish community, and this shit, it wouldn't even make news. It would just get handled, and that's it. But they can do it to blacks. Why? Well, yeah, okay, racism is one thing. Okay, fine, white supremacy, prejudice, and all that. It's money, because you can be as racist as you want. But if you have money to ward off the undesirables, yeah, it yeah. I guarantee there's no shortage of cops that want to get into some of these Jews, get into some of these Asians, get into some of these Indians and stuff. But they're not going to do it because Indians have money. And it's not because Asians and Indians don't commit crimes or anything like that. You obviously haven't been hanging around them if you believe that foolishness. I've been around them, okay? And, but they have money. They have money to get at these cops, get at these politicians, and all of that. So, black people, I don't believe integration is for us. At least not yet. At least not until we can be like, yo, keep your culture, keep your Asian, Indian, white, whatever the fuck. Bring your money to us. Circulate your money, but keep the rest of your shit that we don't want, we don't need. We don't want your ways of doing things, your culture. We have our own culture. Just bring your money. Okay? Until black people can say that, this whole integration is really just black people dissolving into other people's stuff. And that's not good for us. But hell, what the hell do I know? As I've been told by so many black people, yo, or as I've overheard as well, is being told, the fuck do I know about black American problems? I'm a foreigner. Whatever. So, I don't know. But tell this right now, integration is not for black people. Unless there's a free flowing of money, then we can talk about integration. But unless that's gonna happen, it's just going to be dissolving, getting soaked up into, okay, getting cannibalized by other cultures and groups. Um, yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. So no, it's not this 1960s type integration. Oh, we need to go back to segregation, but we need to segregate ourselves, not physically, but as far as education. We need to get our own education and stuff, our own money, our own stuff, just like all these other groups do. have our own black town or Caribbean town or whatever, much like they have Chinatown and all that. And then we can talk about integration and equality and all that shit later.